I wish as a kid I knew like the verbiage I have now. You know how many kids I would call pussies and assholes and pieces of shit while I was like a 4-year-old?
I vividly remember your brother calling you or saying the word shit and you telling on him just so you can say shit to your mom. I remember this vividly.
I'm not saying
Your brother said shit, and then you were like, oh, and then I followed you to your mom.
Nice.
And then you were like, Mom, Chris said shit. And you loved that you could say shit because you were like telling on him.
When was like what happened in your life that you then realized you can curse freely in front of your parents? Do you remember like when that was?
Dude, my dad still won't let me curse like in front of him. And when my dad curses to me on the phone, he apologizes immediately. No, Joe, the fucking. Oh, I'm sorry. My dad,
your dad
28.
A simple sentence from your dad is like. It's like Pandora's box. He can go off on any word and make it a whole other story.
He also has a way of connecting every word with
Yeah. Just figuring it out, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's just no, Joey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know anything you're saying.
Oh, your dad needs subtitles some of the time.
My dad needs speech therapy.
I don't know about that.
No, I know about it.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, that's fair. You're a better judge than I am.
My dad also would make this sound when he would read the newspaper, just like Jabba the Hutt.
Dude, your dad used to sit at the back of the table all day with the newspaper in his hand.
With broken reading glasses on.
And I don't think he was reading anything. I think he just sat with it there, seething, just like, one day I'm going to beat the shit out of these kids.
My dad, by the way, cleans his ears with his car keys when he gets ear infections.
That's actually...
How do I get them? Probably from the fucking keys, Dad. But the other thing that he does, he had these reading glasses that were like gold and round, like you would imagine Santa Claus had.
Nice.
And they were broken because he broke them, but he refused to get another pair. He probably got them in a quarter machine. And this part just snapped off, so he would have the part that goes on your nose and then one ear side, and this one was just shattered, or it was drooping downward, and he'd be using that. And then he would scream at his glasses and spit at them when they would fall off his face.
That's awesome.
Because he'd be reading, and they'd fall off his face. He'd go, oh, he'd spit at the glasses. This was the man.
Your dad was always a fun time.
Oh, it was just a constant show.
I remember that there was one time that I used the word scumbag in your house, and it was like I basically was never allowed back in. I called Barry Bonds a scumbag, and your dad
Barry Bonds.
Is
a long time ago.
He's a scumbag.
He had his home run.
But yeah, I always was. I think I've said this.
My
before.
dad wouldn't. My dad still won't let me curse in front of my mom. He doesn't like if I curse in front of my mom or sister.
I let it fly in front of my family. I don't. And I think as soon as I went away to college, I came back and I just like tested the water and like nothing happened.
That's what it was. Yeah, when you start testing the water and your mom doesn't say anything, you're like.
I think one time I was just like angry and I was like, oh, this fucking idiot.
Dude, you know what my dad used to do?
I just like looked over like.
You know what my dad used to do? Like when we were old enough to drink, if we were like sitting in the basement, it was just like me, Keith, my dad, Thomas, and like maybe one of his friends, right? We'd be having a good time, and we're like 3 hours into drinking. And then he goes, guys, all right, you know what? I'm going to lift the cursing ban.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks a lot, dickhead. Like, we were cursing this whole time. Like, he would act like it was this big thing. I'm going to lift the cursing ban. Like, fuck you.
Dude, my dad, there was one Christmas where I think my brothers were 18. I was turning 21 in a couple months. And my dad, because it was always different. Like, my mom was never, like, okay with us drinking. But, like, she knew it happened. And she was like, just be safe. Don't get into cars. Don't be idiots. Just be fucking safe. My dad, no fucking clue. My dad, I didn't drink until I was fucking 21, according to my dad. I know now he probably says the opposite. But, like, he had, like, no clue because my dad's sober. My dad's been sober for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And, I remember there was one summer where, like, my Christmas, my dad was okay with the idea of me drinking because he knew I was in college and it was happening. So my dad was like, all right. And so on Christmas, he bought a bottle of Patron.
And you slammed it?
And, well, no, I had a couple drinks. And I remember that he was like, all right with then let it, because that's what it was. It was like my sister couldn't do it. They were okay with me doing it. My brothers got to do whatever the fuck they wanted. And my dad sat there. It was like, all right, you guys want a drink? Okay. And he'd pour 3 shots. He'd be like, for me and my brothers, like, take those shots and promise that you'll never leave each other. And we take the shot. All right. And he poured 3 more. Take those shots that you'll always love each other. And we're like, Dad, like after like the 6th shot, we're like, take it fucking easy.
Take it easy. I understand.
Dude, he really wanted us to promise.
He said, take these shots and make sure you'll never leave each other.
Yeah, because that was like a big thing. It's like in my family, it's just like you always remain close. You got your family, you know. And so it was like he would sit there and make us drink to it. Because that's what the Spanish do. They'll drink to anything.
You guys are a bunch of pirates?
I guess so. My dad was literally...
Take these shots, you'll never mutiny.
Yeah. By taking this shot right here, you promise you'll never leave each other.
Literally, that was an amazing pirate fucking...
Don't ask me to do it again.
That was incredible.
Not going to be able to do it again.
I literally thought I was sitting across from Long John Silver.
He did that for like 6, 7 shots. And my brothers and I were like, after like an hour and a half, we were like, Dad, you need to fucking chill.
It's like, Dad, we get it. We love each other, right?
It was like Christmas Eve, so he like wanted us to like stay up and shit. And like at the end, we were all just like fucking hammered, just ripped to shreds.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, my dad always like was a little not naive, but like we were good at hiding it, and also my dad just like didn't want to know.
My dad used to tell me anytime I went out, because my parents were cool with us drinking. They never really had a problem with that, but we didn't start drinking like consistently until I was like 18. I don't think. No, we drank before that, but not like maybe I'm lying. Maybe like 17.
I would say consistently like. Make it a weekend thing, I would say 17, but like we were like 15 drinking.
Dude, I used to drink a lot at your house.
A lot of what?
I said a lot at your house.
Oh yeah, it was all my house.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was all my house, and I'm like,
your mom would go away for the weekend and be like, we're gonna duct tape 40s to our hands.
Fuck yeah, dog.
And hold in this piss as long as we can.
And we crushed it.
And we did.
And but then there was also like we would like randomly like, do you remember when like we knew kids that would like drink like Bacardi in the fucking park?
Yeah.
And like we'd go there for a night and then just run home.
Just be on the swings.
Yeah,
drinking.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Very stupid, but
dumb.
Yeah, a lot of it was at my. But again, like my mom's big thing was just like, you know, we were always responsible.
Yeah.
It was just like, what?
I remember one time.
Uh-oh.
We were drinking at your house, and it was me, you, Keith, and Josh, and I think Espo as well. Espo back then would drink for 5 seconds.
Lightweight.
Throw up.
Everywhere.
And be asleep.
Espo threw up on my stairs and then fell asleep on the stairs.
Threw up onto Impy's lap on your stairs.
Yeah.
Amazing. But no, so we were drinking and we like, I think we were like of age at this point. I think we were like 21 and we slept at your house and then woke up. And I remember waking up and like everyone was covered in like drawings. Like there was like permanent marker on
Josh,
people.
Yeah.
Keith and Josh had it too. Keith and Josh drew on everyone's face and everything.
We were definitely not 21 at that time, but go on.
I don't know. And then they drew on everyone's face and everything, and then drew on themselves so we wouldn't suspect them. But we found it out pretty
smart.
easily.
Very smart. There was one person that, because that was the big thing. Is like you draw like that's when we were in high school. It was like you fell asleep drunk, and you drew on them. There was someone that at my house fell asleep in my room, and if you remember, I had like that white slatted wooden wall.
I do.
Their face, I drew like a giant dick on their face, like pressed up against that when they were asleep, and they woke up, and it was in my wall. Like, I don't know, it was like basically tattooed on the wall.
Damn.
Yeah.
That one backfired on
Good
you.
fucking memories, man.
Yeah.
Good old time.
This kid almost broke his own neck.
Wow.
I remember waking up one time, like hungover at your place, and the church bells were going off, and then Keith goes, "Is it Ash Wednesday?" And it was Sunday morning.
Yeah, yeah. We started drinking at an early age, pretty early age.
I think comparatively to like everyone, like in high school, the kids I was going to, like my freshman year, like kids were like drinking every weekend, like at parties.
Yeah,
and I never did any of that.
Of high school?
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely drank
like
when we
14,
were in high
15.
school.
I didn't drink at all.
No, that's not true. My first time drunk was with you, and it was at my house on New Year's. Remember when we snuck?
Yeah, but that was an isolated incident.
Yeah, like we weren't going. I mean, I was like going because that's when our sisters went away to college.
Yeah, I remember you went.
And I went like a couple weekends and like hung out with them, and I was fucking letting it fly.
Dude, you know how fucking dumb that is on her part?
Whatever.
Can you imagine being in college and be like, I'm going to bring my 15-year-old brother here?
We had a good time.
I'm sure you did.
We had a grand old time. It was fun.
And those pictures were all over Facebook.
Oh, I still have them. I still have them, and they are just, and I promise, just as bad as they were back then.
Yeah.
It's like me in like a fucking 2XL Echo Polo
That was white, green,
white,
white,
blue, purple. Yeah, I still have that, and I'm like,
he's got a Reptar themed shirt, basically.
but I did also then at another point in time have a Reptar shirt.
Hey, that's a good shirt to have.
Full circle.
Full circ.
Yeah. Oh boy.